Good morning, good people. This is your PooleProof Wisdom Moment for Wednesday, or as people like to call it, Hump Day. Now, I don't know if we're getting over that hump yet, but keep trying. If it's an obstacle to where you're trying to go, you better keep climbing. You better keep doing what you need to do to make sure you get over that hump. On the other side lies possibility, and where there's possibility, there's always hope. Don't ever forget that, and therefore, don't ever give in. Hey, listen, I want to make this a quick one this morning, but I want you to think in the context of where we are at this very moment in the world. I'm not going to repeat all of the things because we all know what those things are for each of us individually. But there is a consensus that we're in hot water. Things are not looking good. A lot of hope has been lost. And people are at that point where they want to throw up their hands and say, I don't think there's anything else I can do. Do not let that be how you're thinking. I want you not to conform to the pattern of this world, but to be transformed instead by the renewing of your own mind. How's that for a concept? You have the power, good people, to renew how you think based upon what you already know. And no matter how it seems, to not give up. The best way I found to do this is to not let constant drumbeats of negativity and inhumanity determine our path. I could get up every day and look at what happens day in and day out and let that get me to the point where I simply believe I have nothing left. They've won. People being murdered, parades being disrupted by someone who decides to kill people. A young man who is, of course, trying to run away from police and gets shot a number of times I can't even fathom and killed. And then the daily things that we deal with, between Supreme Court rulings and it. As I said, I'm not going to go into all of them, but I found myself doing it anyway. All of these things get us to a point where we just don't think that we have anything left to give. And our path, therefore, has shifted, at least for many of us, to actively moving forward to standing still. And that's scary because where you, the good people out there, are not making the movement forward, the people who are trying to change this world to a point where there are people who are not allowed to be who they are, live as they live, exist based upon the skin that they were born in, they will not be able to make any progress without your constant effort that is going to be in alignment with fighting against the forces that are trying to keep us from all living in peace and harmony together. Because make no mistake about it, I don't care what people say, what term is applied, what label is given. People who are out here trying to switch our history back to a time where people couldn't do things for whatever reason, oh yeah, they've got an agenda. And their agenda is based in great part on the fact that they will wear you down, wear you out, and get you to the point where you do that proverbial throwing up of hands and stop fighting. And then that's when they win. But as long as good people are a thorn in the side of people who are trying to ruin the world for everybody and only make it salvageable for a certain few, they will not. The way that we have got to be strategic here, and this is spoken from a person who is a communications, PR, and marketing professional for my entire career, is you've got to fight fire with strategy. And for me, and how I apply it in my own life and what I'm recommending for you, is that instead of doing what you know they're expecting you to do by throwing up your hands and giving up, fight by making sure that you have the ability to avoid the negativity and inhumanity by determining your own path in a way that is going to be consistent with some basic practices that all it takes is doing them day in and day out with whomever you come across, no matter what. And here they are. Instead of getting all frustrated and angry, before you assume anything based upon what you see and hear, learn all of the facts. Y'all remember facts? Remember how we used to trust in facts? Well, go back to that point and learn what the facts are. When you are therefore equipped with the facts, before you therefore judge, understand the why behind what's happening. There's all kinds of commentary out here in these days about why things happen, but there's only one real truth. And once you understand the real why and can interpret it through your own individual lens, that will make a difference coupled with the facts that you've already learned. Here's something that's really important for all those people who think that everything is fair play, who thinks that everything is the freedom to say whatever you want to whomever you want under any circumstances. That's not a good way to live. So before you do something or say something that can have an impact on other people, learn how to feel what that impact may be like. If you've experienced it, remember what that felt like. And before you say it, think about it in terms of what it feels like and ask yourself, is that the way you want anyone else to feel? And if it isn't, stop. Stop right then, stop right there, and don't do anything that is going to have that impact. And finally, the thing that is probably the simplest of all, because sometimes we all don't know. We don't know the answers. We don't know if we're right or wrong. We have a feeling about something. Yes, as I've subscribed to here, we should take time to feel what other people feel. But when it comes to our own feelings, what necessarily works for us doesn't work for everyone else. So often, the simplest thing you can do is to ensure that before you say anything, you think about it. You think about it in context. You think about it in terms of experience. You think about it in terms of, could this person perhaps not see it this way or feel it this way? All of these things I've said before. And if you can't be sure, keep your damn mouth shut. I mean, seriously, is it essential for every thought to be expressed? I remember someone I worked with once told me that I did not seem to have any unexpressed thought. To a degree, I guess you can say that's true. But my mama used to have a saying, which really applies to me as well, which is, if people knew what was really going on inside my head, it would blow their head clean off. I don't say everything that I think. I say everything that I know I have enough information about to speak on before I speak on it. But many times, I would say at least 50% of the time, I don't say anything. I keep it zipped. And I think more of us would find ourselves less victimized by this overwhelming sense of chaos and opinion letting that is going on if we simply kept our mouths shut, our reactions limited, and our learning open so that we can grow and understand and base what we are thinking and feeling on the facts that exist. So as we move past Independence Day, the best way to practice your independence is to be an independent thinker, to do the work, to learn the lessons, and apply them all in a way that's going to have bearing not only on how you carry yourself, but with how you interact with the world. And I think that gives us all a little bit of grace in our lives when we are doing that and giving everyone an opportunity to do the same. That's your Foolproof Wisdom moment for today. Hope you have a good rest of the week. As we move on toward Friday, plan for nothing but anticipate. Boy, I just really botched that one. Plan for nothing but anticipate everything. It's not about being afraid of what the future is going to be. It's about preparing for anything that could happen and knowing that you have the skills, the tools, and more importantly, the faith to find your way through it. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.